a lot of times when people want to make money, what happens is, especially when you're growing fast, it is possible that you make a wrong decision, and then what happens is not just the money gets wasted, but 5 to 10 years of people's life get wasted. When I helped these people who got into that wrong business to drop that business, I didn't attack the business. I developed capabilities. They were desperate. So my installation was for them to have a mindset that allows them to systematically build their life, build their finance. Someone would make a lot of money, someone would have a lot of time, and they'll be very happy. And 1 year later, I meet them, and they have debt. And I ask, you were making a lot of money, what happened? They said, and no, when franchisee came and I thought it was a good idea, I put all my money in that. So a lot of times when people want to make money, what happens is, especially when you're growing fast, it is possible that you make a wrong decision, and then what happens is not just the money gets wasted, but 5 to 10 years of people's life get wasted. I think about wrong businesses as things that steal time. If businesses only stole money, that would be a smaller problem than they do, because they actually steal time. And it's very, very dangerous. I read a story when I was a young boy about a man who goes into the boat and he falls down and, in the sea, and there's like this beautiful mermaid and she's a princess down there, and he meets her and he spends time with her, he falls in love, and they spend a couple of days, and then he says, let me go tell my family and come back. And then when he comes back to his village, 100 years have gone by. And when I read it as a little boy, I thought, this doesn't happen in real world. And now I know it happens. Especially when people get into the wrong business. 5 to 10 years can disappear, and because they're thinking now, I have to do this because next month I have to pay an EMI, or, because I have to do something, and sometimes it's a mirage of, just this much, and then there is going to be the breakthrough. And then it always feels that way, and then it never happens. And then by the time people wake up, 10 years of their life gone like that, just wasted. So I'm very, very careful when people, especially in my consultations, when people say, when they do business, I'm very careful about, are you in the right business? And when people want to start something new. So I tell people, fail fast and fail early, so that you can get eventually to the right thing. And the right thing is not just based on what you want to do, it's based on what you want to do and the right product market fit. Now remember, sometimes you don't have to tell people to make decisions. You don't have to tell them what's right or wrong, you just have to develop capabilities. See, there was a lady who came with her daughter, and so this is in Chennai, and Harini and I are doing these consultations. And a mother and a daughter comes in, and the mother says, I know, Antano, you will definitely make my daughter leave this guy. And then the daughter looks at me and says, I know, Antano, you'll definitely make my mother accept this guy. So what do you do? So I asked the mother, if you think you made a mistake in evaluation, and you're just, pressurized by your family because of caste and other things, and it's all the noise. If something happens to you and you realize this is the right person for your daughter, would you be willing for her to go ahead with the marriage? She said yes. And I told the daughter, if there is a small chance that, what you think about this person and what you feel for this person is love, is not really love, but just some neediness that you might have. If that happens, and if you think about it that way, would you be willing to separate from him and work with your mother to find the right guy for you? She said yes. So now I have, both their agreement that now, remember, that's a very important shift, because from a specific outcome, we are going to the intent of the outcome. What does the mother want? her mother wants her to be with the right guy. What does she want? She wants her mother to be okay when she finds the right guy. So now, whatever I set up allows for both of their intentions to be satisfied and successful. And then we come to up, I develop capabilities for the mother to deal with her family. Because what happens is a lot of times when family gives pressure, the brain stops working. And then you're not even thinking about, is this the right guy for the girl or not? To deal with the family, to get over embarrassment, to feel confident, to know that by herself and her husband, they can take care of things. So we build all those capabilities. Now, for the girl, so not by herself and her brother, not her husband, the girl had lost her father. And the girl had lost her father, and she felt she was orphaned. And we developed the capability for the girl to be independent. And one of the bad habits she had was she had to cry about not having a father to somebody every day. And it happened to be the guy that she was getting married to. And in my head, I thought that's going to be a terrible, place to be in. And, you're marrying someone so that you can share your sadness with them. Doesn't sound like, of course, there are going to be sad things that happen. You're going to share. But marrying someone because you want a crutch to deal with the passing of your father doesn't seem like the right thing to do. So I helped her to develop the capability to, first of all, deal with the loss of a father and the fact that there is no strong man figure in her life yet. And then, and one of the other things she had was a strong sense of reciprocity, that when her father died, this guy was with her, so she cannot leave him because that would be unfair to him. And, and I thought, I thought, what if 20 years later she feels that she compromised because she couldn't be unfair to him? So, we developed capabilities for her to deal with some of these stuff and also helped her look at it differently, that the unfair thing to do is to marry him unless she really loves him. And then, this happened. And at the end of up, the daughter decided that, she was just needing someone to cry on. And because he did it, she did not want to hurt him. So she was in the relationship with him. And then she dropped the guy. She spoke to him. They both understood. And then I think 5-6 months later, the mother and the daughter found a guy and she married from a different caste. The girl I met was never going to love that. So at least now, so the idea is that the same capabilities, the different capabilities for different people allows them to make different decisions in the same situation. But the first time, the fact that she couldn't deal with a boy from another caste was clouding the judgment. Her mother intuitively knew that the boy is not the right match. But because there was something else that was clouding the judgment, she couldn't articulate what her real concern is to her daughter. And the daughter, being emotionally dependent of having someone the need to cry for, confused a therapist for a lover. It's a very different role. And developing that capability allowed her to know the difference when she didn't need a therapist anymore, or a shoulder to cry on anymore, or a counselor anymore. She realized what she really wants from a marriage, what she wants from a man in her life. And a lot of these things, you don't have to tell people what to do and why to do. You just have to develop capabilities. And one of the things that I love is about human neurology is we are very smart. You give the smallest capability to someone, suddenly their decisions change. When I helped these people who got into that wrong business to drop that business, I didn't attack the business. I developed capabilities. They were desperate. So my installation was for them to have a mindset that allows them to systematically build their life, build their finance. And once I developed that mindset and the states to the innate ability to have the states, they dropped that unuseful business.
We never like to complete our video without giving you the opportunity to personally evolve and launch your legacy. Imagine for a moment, what would it feel like when you are impacting the world positively so much and enhancing your business, your health, your family and legacy. All of this together simultaneously, continuing to grow leaps and bounds, fast and smoothly. If you've got the right motives, we believe Antano and Harini will be able to help you launch your legacy in compressed time. Get excellence installation-based personal evolution and keep making a difference, starting with yourself.